Take a moment to settle yourself, finding a comfortable position where your body can fully relax. Letting the weight of the day simply melt away into the surface beneath you. Close your eyes and turn your attention inward to the slow, steady rhythm of your own breathing. In and out, like the gentle lapping of waves against a quiet shore. There is nothing you need to do right now, nowhere you need to be, and no problem that needs to be solved in this immediate moment. This is a time for stillness, a time for reflection, and a time to listen to the quiet whispers of your own intuition. We gather here to explore a topic that touches the deepest parts of our vulnerability, the delicate balance of trust and distance within a relationship. Specifically, we are looking at the times when a partner travels for business, leaving the shared sanctuary of home to venture into the world alone. It is natural, entirely natural, for the mind to wander during these times of separation. When the space beside you in bed is empty, and the house is quieter than usual, thoughts can drift like clouds across a moonlit sky. Sometimes these clouds are light and passing, and sometimes they carry the weight of doubt. Tonight, we will gently hold space for those doubts, not to feed them with fear, but to examine them with a clear, calm mind. We are looking for clarity, for the truth that often hides beneath the noise of anxiety. We are exploring the signs that the connection may be shifting, specifically looking for the subtle indicators of unfaithfulness during these times of travel. But we do so with a heavy heart. We do so with a spirit of peace, knowing that truth, whatever it may be, is the foundation of your own inner serenity. Let us begin by considering the nature of connection itself. Think of the bond between two people as a living, breathing cord of energy, a golden thread that stretches across miles and time zones. When trust is whole, that thread hums with a consistent frequency. Even when your partner is hundreds of miles away, sitting in meetings or sleeping in a hotel room, you can usually feel the steadiness of that connection. It feels like a warm hum in the background of your life. However, when attention shifts, when energy is diverted elsewhere, that thread can feel different. The first area we gently observe is the rhythm of communication. Every relationship has its own unique heartbeat, a pattern of texts, calls, and check-ins that has been established over time. When a partner is away on business, the schedule naturally changes. Meetings run late, dinners with clients extend into the evening, and exhaustion sets in. This is the normal ebb and flow of professional life. But we are listening for a different kind of disruption. Imagine a river that suddenly changes its course. If the communication feels abruptly halted, or strangely sporadic in a way that doesn't align with the stated itinerary, this is something to notice. It is not about a missed call here or there, but about the texture of the silence. Does the silence feel empty, or does it feel guarded? Consider the times when the phone remains unanswered. In the past, perhaps a missed call was met with a quick text. In a meeting, call you back. A simple bridge over the gap of silence. But if you find that the gaps are growing wider, stretching into hours of unexplained quiet, particularly during the late evening hours. Allow yourself to notice this without judgment. Just observe the pattern, like watching leaves float down a stream. Is there a new unavailability that feels deliberate? A wall where a window used to be? Let your mind drift to the quality of the conversations when they do happen. Close your eyes and imagine the sound of their voice. When we are connected to someone, even a brief conversation can feel nourishing. We share the small details of the day, the frustrations, the little victories. We seek to weave our separate experiences back together. However, if the conversation feels thin, like a worn piece of fabric, pay attention. Perhaps the conversations have become purely logistical, devoid of emotional content. I did this, I went there, I am going to sleep. A recitation of facts rather than a sharing of self. When someone is dividing their attention or carrying a secret, they often withdraw emotionally to protect themselves from slipping up, or to deal with internal guilt. You might notice a vague quality to their descriptions. When you ask about their evening or who they were with, are the answers rich with the usual details you know and love, or are they hazy, generic, and defensive? Just some colleagues. Just a quiet dinner. If pressing for a simple detail is met with irritation or a sense that you are intruding, this is a ripple in the water. A partner who is secure in their fidelity usually has no trouble painting a picture of their surroundings for you, because they want you to be there with them in spirit. Breathe deeply now, inhaling peace and exhaling tension. Let the shoulders drop. We are simply observing, gathering scattered thoughts into a cohesive understanding. Another subtle shift to meditate upon is the energy of their technology. In our modern world, the phone is often the keeper of secrets. When they are away, the phone is your only lifeline to them. But notice how they treat this lifeline. If you are on a video call, observe the environment. Is it open? Do they walk around the room freely? Or is the angle carefully curated, fixed in one spot, as if to hide the rest of the room? There is a distinct difference between privacy and secrecy. Privacy is the need for a moment of alone time, a closed bathroom door, a quiet hour to read. Secrecy is the active hiding of information. If the communication patterns shift drastically from their baseline, for example, if they used to call every night before bed to say goodnight, and now, suddenly, they are too tired or the signal is too weak night after night, this breaks the established ritual of your love. Rituals are the safety nets of long-distance connection. When they are cut, the soul feels the drop. Let us also consider the concept of projection. The mind is a mirror. Sometimes, when a person is engaging in behavior they know is hurtful, they project that fear onto their partner. Have you noticed a sudden increase in their jealousy? Do they ask where you are with an intensity that feels out of place? Why didn't you answer? Who are you with? This inversion of suspicion can be a way to distract from their own actions, a cloud of smoke to hide the fire. It is a jarring experience to be accused when you are simply waiting at home, but it is a sign that the internal landscape of your partner is in turmoil. Drift deeper into relaxation now, feeling the softness of the bed beneath you. You are safe here. You are whole. Your intuition is a powerful, quiet guide. It does not scream. It does not panic. It simply knows. Think about the emotional aftermath of the trip. The anticipation of return is usually a sweet feeling, a countdown to reunion. But sometimes, the energy leading up to the return feels heavy. If they seem distant even as they are packing to come home, Or if the excitement you express is met with a lukewarm response, it creates a dissonance, a feeling of being out of tune. And what of the schedule itself? Business trips have itineraries, flights, meetings. There is a logic to them. If the details of the trip seem to shift constantly, I have to stay another day, the flight got moved, I decided to drive instead of fly, and these changes don't seem to have a solid reason grounded in business reality, it is like a fog rolling in. The edges of the truth become blurred. You are left grasping for concrete facts in a mist of excuses. Listen to the tone of their affection. When they do speak to you, is the affection present? Is there warmth? Or does the "I love you" sound automatic, a reflex rather than a feeling? Sometimes, there is a phenomenon known as overcorrection. Guilt can manifest as sudden, grand gestures that feel out of character. An expensive gift purchased at the airport, a sudden outpouring of compliments that feels disconnected from the current reality of your relationship. It is as if they are trying to buy back the balance of the scale. As we rest here in the quiet, it is important to remember that one sign alone is rarely a confirmation. We are looking for a constellation of stars, a pattern that forms a picture. We are looking for a fundamental shift in the energy of the person you know so well. You know their rhythms. You know the sound of their tired voice versus their secretive voice. You know the feeling of being held in their mind versus being pushed to the periphery. Trust the wisdom of your body. If your stomach tightens every time the phone rings, or if you feel a heaviness in your chest when they speak about their evening, honor that sensation. It is data. It is information being sent from the deepest part of your knowing to your conscious mind. In the next section, we will move deeper into the specific behavioral changes that occur upon their return, and how the atmosphere of the home shifts when secrets are brought through the door. But for now, simply breathe. Let the information settle like dust motes in a sunbeam. You are observing. You are aware. And you are at peace with your own ability to perceive the truth. Rest in this awareness, feeling the steady beat of your own heart, the anchor that keeps you grounded even when the waters of trust are choppy. You are safe. You are listening. And you are preparing to understand more. As the breath flows in and out, steady and rhythmic, we turn our attention to the moment of return. The time away has ended, and the physical distance between you is closing. There is a specific energy to the homecoming, a vibration that fills the hallway when the door finally opens. In a relationship grounded in transparency, this moment is usually one of release. The tension of separation dissolves, replaced by the warmth of reconnection. The eyes meet, and there is a sense of landing, of being back in the sanctuary of the shared life. But when secrets have been gathered during the time away, the atmosphere of the return shifts. It becomes thicker, more opaque. You may notice this shift before a single word is spoken. It is in the way the key turns in the lock, perhaps with a hesitation, or perhaps with too much force, an attempt to normalize a moment that feels fraught with hidden weight. When the door opens, observe the energy that enters with them. Is it an energy of openness, of flowing toward you like a wave returning to the shore? Or is there a subtle rigidity, a bracing against the air of the home, as if they are entering a space where they must now perform a role? Watch the eyes, those windows to the internal state. In the first moments of greeting, do they hold your gaze with soft affection, or do they slide away, finding interest in the mail on the table, the dog, or the luggage at their feet? Let us contemplate the luggage, the vessel of their journey. In the landscape of business travel, the suitcase is merely a container for clothes and necessities. It is functional. It is open. But when boundaries have been crossed, the suitcase often transforms into a guarded object, a repository of evidence that must be managed. Notice the relationship they have with this bag upon re-entry. In a relaxed state, a traveller might drop their bag in the hallway, leaving it there to be dealt with later, prioritizing the embrace of their partner. They might unzip it freely to toss dirty laundry into the hamper, unconcerned with what might be seen or smelled. However, if the trip held moments of betrayal, the suitcase becomes a focal point of anxiety. You might observe a need to whisk it away immediately, to control where it is placed and who touches it. There is a possessiveness over the zippers, a subtle blocking of your path if you move to help them unpack. Consider the ritual of the laundry. Clothes absorb the atmosphere of the places they have been. They hold the scent of conference rooms, of hotel lobbies, of airplanes. But they also hold the scent of intimacy. Smoke, unfamiliar perfume or cologne, the musk of a different environment. If they are hypervigilant about doing their own laundry immediately upon return, rushing to wash the clothes before they have even settled in, this is a signal. It is an act of erasing the sensory map of their time away. It is the washing away of traces, the cleansing of the narrative. Allow yourself to simply witness this behavior without reacting. You are a calm observer, watching the patterns unfold. The washing machine hums, the water rushes, and with it, the timeline of the trip is being scrubbed clean. And then, there is the physical body, the vessel they inhabit. When a partner returns from a faithful trip, there is often a desire to merge back into the comfort of the home, to sit on the sofa, to share a meal. But observe if there is an immediate, urgent need to shower. Of course, travel is wearying, and one often feels the need to wash off the grime of transit. But pay attention to the energy behind the action. Is it a casual refreshment? Or is it a ritual of purification? Does the shower take longer than usual? Is there a sense that they are scrubbing away more than just the dust of the road? When they emerge, do they seem truly clean? Or is there still a lingering distance, a barrier of steam that hasn't quite dissipated? Sometimes, the immediate shower is a way to wash away the scent of another, to reset the biological signature before allowing you close. It is a physical boundary enacted in the guise of hygiene. Move your awareness now to the digital realm, the glowing screens that accompany us everywhere. During the trip, the phone was their tether to you. But now that they are back, notice how the relationship with the device changes. In the days following the return, does the phone remain a constant companion in a way it wasn't before? Is it carried from room to room, into the bathroom, never left unattended on the coffee table? Observe the placement of the device. Is it placed face down? Always? This small gesture, the turning of the screen toward the surface, is a symbolic closing of a door. It says, what is here is not for you. Notifications that once chimed freely might now be silenced. The vibration mode becomes the only sound, a low buzz that only they are attuned to. If you walk into the room and see a quick shifting of screens, a thumb swiping rapidly to close an application, simply note it. It is a ripple in the calm water of trust. It is the behavior of someone guarding a separate reality. And what of the gifts? The tokens brought back from the journey. In the realm of psychology, there is a concept known as the guilt gift. It is an object offered not out of pure generosity, but as a counterbalance to the weight of a secret. These gifts are often surprisingly lavish, or perhaps strangely impersonal. They may be presented with a fanfare that feels slightly forced, an overcompensation to prove that you were on their mind, when in reality, their mind was occupied elsewhere. Feel the weight of the object in your hands. Does it carry the warmth of a thoughtful connection? Does it feel like something chosen because it reminded them of you? Or does it feel like a payment? A shiny distraction meant to dazzle the eye and silence the intuition. Sometimes, the most expensive gifts carry the heaviest shadows. Receive the gift with grace, but let your inner knowing weigh it on the scales of truth. As the evening of the return settles in, listen to the stories. Listen to the narrative of the trip. How is it delivered? When we speak the truth, our stories are often messy, non-linear, filled with mundane details about bad coffee or a delayed meeting. But a fabricated story, or a story with carefully excised chapters, often sounds different. There are two extremes to watch for here. The first is vagueness. It was fine. Just work. Same old stuff. A refusal to engage in the details. A grey fog cast over the days to prevent any accidental slips. They offer you nothing to hold on to, no hooks that might snag on a contradiction. The second extreme is the over-rehearsed script. This is a story that is told with too much detail, but the details feel static. They might recount the exact time of a dinner, the specific name of a restaurant, the menu items, but the emotional content is missing. They are reciting a timeline they have memorized to cover the gaps. If you ask a question that falls outside this script, watch for the flash of irritation or the stumble. Why does it matter? They might ask. I told you I was with the team. The defensiveness is the tell. A person with nothing to hide welcomes curiosity. A person with a secret views curiosity as an interrogation. Breathe into this space of observation. You are noticing the silence between the words. You are noticing the way they might avoid being in the same room as you for too long, finding reasons to be busy, to check emails, to organize files. This is the avoidance of intimacy. Intimacy requires presence, and presence is difficult when a part of the mind is guarding a fortress of lies. They may seem physically present, sitting in the same chair, eating at the same table, but their spirit feels miles away. It is as if they are still in that other place, or perhaps managing the aftermath of what happened there. You might feel a coolness radiating from them, a subtle pushing away of your affection. If you reach out to touch their hand, is there a flinch? A stiffening? The body does not lie. If they have shared intimacy with another, the body often recoils from the partner at home, confused by the conflicting imprints, or burdened by the guilt of the touch. Let these observations settle. Do not rush to confront. Do not rush to accuse. You are gathering the pieces of a puzzle, letting the picture form slowly in the developing fluid of your awareness. The house is quiet now. The suitcase is unpacked. The laundry is done. But the air still feels charged. You are safe in your knowing. You are grounded in your breath. In the final section, we will explore the long-term echoes of these trips, the subtle changes in schedule, and how to navigate the conversation that must eventually happen. But for now, simply breathe and witness the truth as it reveals itself in the silence. As the days drift forward, turning into weeks since their return, we begin to notice the longer shadows cast by the journey. These are the echoes, the subtle reverberations that hum beneath the surface of daily life. The suitcase is gone, stored away in the darkness of a closet, but the rhythm of the household has shifted, imperceptibly at first, like the slow changing of the tides. We turn our attention now to the schedule, the architecture of time that you share. In a relationship grounded in transparency, the calendar is an open book, a shared map of your collective life. But when secrets have taken root, the map becomes blurred. You may notice a newfound vagueness surrounding future trips. Perhaps the dates are no longer fixed, floating like leaves on a stream, subject to change at a moment's notice. Listen to the way upcoming travel is discussed. Is there a hesitation? A reluctance to provide the simple details of flight numbers or hotel names? It is as if the itinerary itself has become a guarded fortress. When we hide parts of our lives, we instinctively build walls around the logistics, fearing that a single loose brick might bring the whole structure down. You might observe an increase in the frequency of these trips, emergencies that require immediate departure, or conferences that seem to appear out of thin air. Trust your internal clock, the one that knows the natural rhythm of their career. If the tempo has accelerated without cause, let that awareness sit gently in your mind. And then, there is the digital silence, the glowing screen that acts as a portal to elsewhere. In the aftermath of a trip where boundaries were crossed, the phone becomes a sacred object to the traveler, a vault containing the evidence of their drift. Observe, without anxiety. Simply observe the physical relationship they have with this device. Does it ever leave their hand? When they set it down on the bedside table, is it always face down? This is a subtle closing off, a physical barrier erected to protect the messages that might light up the dark. You may notice a change in the passcode, or a sudden possessiveness that was not there before. If you walk into the room while they are typing, is there a quick dimming of the screen? A shifting of the body to block your view? These are the flinches of a nervous system on high alert, guarding the separate reality they have constructed. It is not necessary to demand the phone, or to force a confrontation in the heat of the moment. The behavior itself is the answer. The secrecy is the message. Let us drift deeper into the realm of intuition and emotional distance. The most profound echo of infidelity during a business trip is often not found in logistics, but in the texture of your connection. When someone is maintaining a lie, they must expend a tremendous amount of energy to keep the two worlds from colliding. This effort drains the spirit. You may feel them withdrawing from the intimacy of shared silence. They may seem distracted, their eyes focused on a middle distance that you cannot see. Sometimes, to manage the guilt, the partner will create conflict where there is none. This is a defense mechanism, a way to justify their emotional distance. If they can paint you as the villain, or the nagger, or the one who is too controlling, it alleviates the weight of their own actions. If you ask a simple question about their trip and are met with defensiveness or anger, accusing you of mistrust, recognize this for what it is. It is a smokescreen, a cloud of ink released to cover an escape. You remain calm. You remain the lighthouse, standing firm while the waves crash against the rocks. You do not need to absorb their anger. You simply witness it. And what of the financial threads? The ledger of our lives often tells the story we refuse to speak. In the weeks following the trip, as credit card statements arrive or bank accounts are balanced, there may be anomalies. Unexplained withdrawals, charges for meals that seem too lavish for one, or receipts that simply do not add up. Money is energy, and where the energy flows, the truth follows. If you see these signs, do not panic. Do not let your heart race. View them as data points, cold and neutral. They are merely pieces of the reality that is assembling itself before you. Now, we arrive at the threshold of the conversation. The moment where silence must be broken. This is not a battle. It is not a courtroom drama. It is a clearing of the air. When you feel the time is right, when you are grounded and your breath is steady, you will know how to speak. Choose a time of quiet, when the distractions of the world are minimal. Approach the conversation not with accusation, but with curiosity and the strength of your own perception. Use language that reflects your experience. I feel a distance since you returned. I have noticed changes in our routine that leave me feeling unsettled. I sense that there is something you are carrying. By speaking from your own knowing, you create a space where the truth can enter. They may deny, they may deflect, they may become angry, but you are anchored in your calm. You have observed the unpacking, the body language, the schedule, the phone, the distance. You have gathered the puzzle pieces. You know what the picture looks like, even if they refuse to name it. If the truth is admitted, there will be pain, but there will also be a release. The tension of the unknown will dissipate. If the truth is denied, but your intuition remains loud and clear, then you have a choice to make about your own path. But that is a choice for another day. For now, in this moment, you have done the work of witnessing. Allow yourself to feel a sense of completion. You have faced the shadows. You have looked into the corners where secrets hide, and you have not looked away. There is a profound peace in trusting your own instincts. It is the ultimate form of self-love. You are not crazy. You are not imagining things. You are a sentient, aware being, tuned into the frequencies of your life. Let the heavy weight of suspicion lift off your shoulders now. It is no longer a frantic searching, but a quiet knowing. You can rest in this knowing. The truth is a constant, like the ground beneath your feet. It supports you. It guides you. Visualize a light filling the room you are in. It is the light of clarity. It washes over you, soothing the anxious parts of your mind, quieting the racing thoughts. You are safe. You are whole. Whatever the future holds, Whatever conversations must happen, you possess the strength to navigate them. You are resilient. Let your breathing deepen, slow and rhythmic, like the ocean lapping against a shore at midnight. In and out. The investigation is over. The evidence has been gathered. The verdict of your intuition is in. Now, it is time to rest. Time to detach from the actions of others and return home to yourself. Feel the support of the surface beneath you. Let your muscles soften. Let the tension in your jaw release. Let your hands uncurl. You are the protagonist of your own story, and your eyes are wide open. There is nothing left to fear in the dark, because you carry your own light. Drift now into a space of deep, restorative silence. The questions have been asked. The answers are unfolding in their own time. You can sleep now. You can rest. You are wise. You are calm. You are free.